going to Turner Falls for about 12 years and intermediate camp. 1 year right beside the first pole in the tabernacle. I was filled with the Holy Spirit, changed my life, and it was just one of those awesome times that I can go back to that point in my life, in my history, and just like a physical spot to go stand in. That was a place of change in my life, like Jacob's point of Peniel. That was my point.
A couple years ago, I got, people were praying for me and stuff, and I got slain in the spirit, and I just started talking in tongues, and I was just laying there forever, and I don't know, that's just an awesome experience. It completely changed my walk, completely changed my life, and just got me on fire.
About 2 years ago, I was called into the ministry right over there, and God gave me 2 visions. I was in Africa among children, and I was leading worship over 500,000 people. Ever since then, I felt called into the ministry. The next night, a guy prophesied over me, and I didn't even tell anybody. He said the exact same thing that God told me in the vision, and he said, with your voice, you're going to rise up nations in the end times. And ever since then, I felt very strongly called to the ministry.
I think it was my first year here. It's when I got baptized in the Holy Spirit. I was at the altars at the front of the band while everybody was playing, and God just really spoke to me. It felt like a bubbling inside of me, and I just started speaking in tongues, and it just flowed out. It was an awesome thing that happened.
I think it was right over here to the left by the speakers. God healed me of my asthma that summer. So yeah, I had a really intense God moment that summer.
I don't know what happened, but it was the first time I ever had my real life experience with the Holy Spirit. And I was baptized in the Holy Spirit, and I was slain in the Holy Spirit that night. And I'll remember it for the rest of my life.
I can take you back to the place where I got saved.
It was in service. I was down at the altar with my face against the concrete. I was 13, and I was just crying and everything like you do.
It was in the tabernacle, right by a pole. I remember that.
I was crying down in front of the altars, pretty much on stage, crying. I can show you what's at.
It was in the front, and I just felt something I've never felt before, and it was amazing. The earlier you get into it, the deeper that you can get, later on down the week. So I think it definitely helps when you get in there early on Monday.
That's the whole reason to come, is just to go there and get into it, right into it. You have the whole week to be with God.
This is the start of something great. I've never been here before, but I know tonight's going to be really awesome.
You don't want to wait till then. You want to do it Monday night.
I've never been here before, but I know tonight's going to be awesome. I know every night's going to be awesome here at camp, and I know that God's going to take me to places I've never been, and I'm going to look back on this moment for the rest of my life and just remember it, because it's going to be so awesome.
For the services here, it always builds after each night, and so if you start off on a really, really high level on the very first night, it can only go up from there. The presence of God moves, and He wants to move, and He's just waiting for us to try and reach out for Him like we have.
Just because it's Monday night, why hold back?
Tonight is Monday night!